Okay. Well, very good morning, guys. Okay. Well, so last day we just been, yeah, last day we just been completed with error handling, client side error handling, and server side error handling. For client side error handling, we have three middlewares. Yes or not? Okay. And for server side error handling, we have only one middleware. For client side error handling, we are provided with three middlewares. What are the three middlewares? One is use status code pages. Next, use status code pages with redirects. Next, re-execute. All these three. And same way for server-side error handling, we have only one middleware. What is that? Use exception handler. Use exception handler is a one and only one middleware what we have for server-side error handling. I shown you both the two options. And finally, we ended our discussion talking about ASP.NET Core Identity Framework. Yes or not? We ended up talking about a concept called ASP.NET Core Identity Framework. What did I explain you? ASP.NET Core Identity Framework is basically introduced for you for performing your authentications and authorizations. Authentication and authorization without you creating the database, creating the tables and all these things. You can use this ASP.NET Core NT framework, which will help you in creating all the required tables and provides you all the logic for validating the users and everything. So what you just require to do is you just require to call a set of methods, and all these methods will help you in the authentication and the authorization process. Are you clear? It's a big topic. This whole week we will learn about this identity framework. Okay. Mainly here, what to learn in the sense you have all the things ready here. What is present, everything we just require to know. And we need to design the other interfaces. UI should be designed by you. Controllers also you should write. But in a, see, earlier, we used to write the code, the logic also. What's it? Your ID valid or not valid, registration, all these things we write the code. But database interaction code is free. Ready-made methods are there. Call the methods. They will perform all the inserts, updates, deletes, selects. All the things will be done by them. So tables also will be created. You don't require to create the tables. Tables also created and given. Is that clear? So how to work with this identity framework? Okay. Yeah. Just last day, we also already read the first paragraph. If you remember, it's an API that supports UI login functionality by managing users, passwords, profile data, roles, tokens, email confirmations, and more. Users can create an account with the login information stored in identity, or they can even use a external login providers. External login providers also can be used. We talked about this also, remember? Like what? Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and Twitter. Identity is typically configured using an to store usernames, profiles, data. Alternatively, another persistent store is also available. What is it? Azure table storage. That is also nothing but Microsoft SQL server only, but storing on the Azure. The first one, on premises, means your own database. Second option, directly on the Azure. Are you clear? Okay, so fine. To work with ASP.NET Core Identity, do the following. Okay, guys, one by one step, I'm showing you in a series of actions. Let's see everything carefully. What is the first step? Did I install that now? ASP Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.Identity.NT Framework Core. First, you're required to install. Guys, we are not opening and are creating a new project. We are doing it under the same. We are doing this under the same project only in this case. Am I clearer? Okay. So let me close all these things here. Go to Tools menu, NuGet, Manage NuGet. Yeah. Max out the days period.NET core.identity.NT framework core. Install. Okay, done. Now look at this, guys. When you add this, when you are just going to install, yeah, it will add you a list of dependencies and all the things here. It added you this. These two earlier we installed now, this installed. Under this, it is going to install some sub packages, NT framework core relationship, and all the things, whatever is required. It is just going to add all the required things for it. But we added you the main thing, that is NT framework core. Okay, what next? So step 1 clear na? We installed. Step 2. Now we want the database tables, man. Or we want all the database tables to be created. And to create all these particular database tables, we need a context class. Context is required. Yes or not? Let's do one thing. No need of creating a new context class. Already we have a context class in the project. We can use the same context class. But one thing remember. See, if you observe, this is your context class models. Unnecessary classes I'm deleting from here. I don't require this too now. Just to give an idea, I shown you. Let us simplify the things. Yeah, this is important. And the main DB context and the interface. The error view model is not created by me. The error view model already existing was created. Okay, leave that. And now already we have a data context class. What is it? Guys, in this, you're writing a seed data, na? Yes or not? So basically this seed data is going to do something and all. Now this inheriting from which class? DB context. Well, DB context is the parent class. When you're using NT framework core, when you're using identity framework, you need to do a small def change. What is the change here? Without inheriting from DB context, you're provided with another context class called as identity DB context, remember. Yes, identity DB context. You're required to change it as identity DB context. Error is coming because of the namespace. That is the namespace. Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.identity. There, just now I added the package. Why, sir? Why are you inheriting from this? The reason why I'm inheriting from this is this identity DB context internally inherits from DB context now. Identity DB context inherits from DB context now. See, just like you defined one DB context and defined all these properties, same way now you want to go NT framework, then also some properties. See, you have a table called customer. You have customers here. Same way, if a new table is created, I need to define the new property now. Am I correct? But understand a point, one thing carefully. What is that? See, when you want to define this, what did I say? Identity framework will create you all the tables, everything for you free now. Am I correct? So already the code for creating these properties and all the defined here now. Which class? So when you make identity DB context, anyhow, you know that whenever you're creating the instance of this class, it will go and call identity DB context now. Then automatically identity DB context properties also will be executed now. And that will go and call DB context ultimately. Okay. So that's way, without you again writing all the code, identity framework has defined all the code in a class called identity DB context and simply said you one thing, right? Inherit this class without inheriting from DB context. No worries. This class is inheriting from DB context. So now also your parent is DB context only. Are you getting me? So whenever this is called, this will call this identity DB context. And there Microsoft has written all the code for our new tables what are going to be created now. Did you get my point or not? In this, the required code is present. Okay. Now see, whenever I create this, when I create the instance, it'll call this method. Which method? And you're overriding the method. From which class? Come on, you are overriding this method. From which class? Or a parent class, nah. Which class? Earlier? Now? Basically, in identity DB context also, Microsoft has overridden this method already now. Say, MVC DB context, the parent actually. Public, class, DB context. What is the class? In this, there is one overridden virtual property, virtual method, public, virtual. Actually, guys, frankly speaking, this method doesn't have any implementation. No implementation there. Just left it blank, that's all. And said you tomorrow, if you want to execute any code when the database is creating, you override and write the code. So I will call the method and execute the method for you now. Are you getting my point or not? When this method is called, this method is called here. Where is it called? Constructor. It is called in the constructor. But right now, this doesn't have any implementation. So what it tells you, array, if you want, you go and override this method in your child classes. So I will call those methods and execute the code for you now. And what did you do yesterday? You have done this. Inheriting from DB context, and there your override, you defined a constructor. Sorry guys, I forgot to tell you. This constructor takes a parameter. What is the parameter? DB context options. Okay. And DB context options is what it takes. Now see, this constructor is now called from the child class now. Base off, and you're calling these options. Okay. And second thing you've done is you defined your own property called customers representing your table, and also you written a method call. And when this method is created, when the database is created, this method is called how many times? One time. Are you clear? And automatically all the records are inserted. Now, see, to work with identity framework, we are provided with a set of tables now. Did you create them? No, I did not create. Who will create? Identity framework will create. But all those tables require matching properties or not? Suppose there is a users table here. You need a users property here now? Yes or not? There is a logins table. You need the logins property here now? Array, we are customer, you are customers now. Users, logins. I need all the things. There is a table called role table. So I need a property called roles here. When I am not going to create the tables, why will I write all my properties now? Who has to write? Identity framework only has to write now. So what they done is they written all the code for you under a class called identity DB context. So listen, what did they do? They defined a class called identity DB context, inheriting from, and here they implemented all the code for defining properties representing the tables, and also overridden the on model creating method with the code that is required for executing when the database is created. All they have done. Now, what did they say? They said, you don't inherit from DB context, inherit from identity DB context. Are you clearer or not? Inherit from identity DB context. So tomorrow, see, what is the class you're using? That is inheriting from, and that is inheriting from DB context. Any of DB context is our parent now. And now when the database is creating, okay, it will call you on model creating. What it will call you? Which on model creating? Because in identity DB context also we have one on model creating, and in MVC code DB context also you have one on model creating, which is called dynamic polymorphism. First preference is given to the last child now. Which one? Louder. MVC code DB context on model creating, but not. So then this code won't execute now. If this code doesn't execute any default data, all the things won't be executed now. So to resolve this problem, what you do, here call AS dot when this is called, this is again calling the parent class on model creating now. What is the parent class? So that code also will execute. This code also will execute. Any default data into those tables also will be inserted, and default data into these tables also will be inserted. Did you understand me or not? So that's what. See, step 2. Read the step 2 carefully. Go to our, what is our context class? And change the parent class of it from DB context to identity DB context by importing Microsoft.ASP.NET Core identity. And this identity DB context class internally inherits from DB context class now. So no worries, any of DB context is my parent. Second step understood? Third step. In our DB context class, we are class that is MVC Core DB. Within the existing on model creating method, we have overridden earlier. Write the below statement in top of the method so that the base class identity DB context on model creating method also gets executed. And we need to do this because there is some logic implemented in the parent class for setting identity user logins model keys property. So for that reason, both should be called. What should be called? Our on model creating also. But by default, first preference goes to local. Which one? MVC core. So what MVC core has to do? Should call identity DB. How do you call? I can call a parent class method from a child class by using base keyword, base dot. We learned in object-oriented programming already. So both of them will execute. First, what will execute? Base class. Afterwards, child class. Both. That code also will run. This code also will run. Is it clear? Step 4. You're required to register here. Every service should be registered. You already know that. You're required to register. How to register? If you're working on 5.0, where? Startup.cs. If you're working with 6.0 and above, programs.cs. Below, this method. How to register? Builder dot services dot add identity. It takes 2 parameters. What are the 2? Identity user, identity role. Dot add NT framework store. And here, write the context class name. What's the context class name? Means you're targeting the same database only. Did you understand? You're not creating a separate database for that. Same database only. What's your database? MVC code DB. There we created a table called customer. Now all these tables also will go and create on the same database, not a different database. Okay. And to do that, first you're required to import Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.identity. Come on, let's go to which class? Program class. Import identity. Now come here. Okay, yeah, in the last, write down what? Builder dot services dot add identity core. Identity core only or identity? Okay, just add identity. The method name is add identity. It takes 2 parameters here. I'll explain about these 2 parameters in detail going forward. One is identity user. We'll talk about this too. Don't worry. Identity role. Identity user, identity role. Okay. Dot add add dot add NT framework stores and write the context class name. What's the context class name? MVC core DB context. You're registering the service now. Which service? Identity service. You're registering the identity service. Okay. So this is the fourth step. Yeah, this is the fourth step. Okay. Fifth step. Your project doesn't have add authentication. You have add authorization, but you don't have add authentication. Clearer or not? Where you should write that? Go to program.cs and write the above statement between use routing and use authorization. Okay, between use routing and use authorization. Add this particular statement there. Okay, so app.use authentication. App.use authentication. Okay, that is 6.0 and above. Yeah, 5.0, there also method between. Here also same only here, but different files. That's all. Step 5 clear. Step 6. Create a new migration now. Why? To create the tables, man. You need to create the tables now. Sir, what about to create the tables? You need model classes now. No need. Why? All are already defined. You installed that identity framework already now. The classes are already defined for you, and the tables will be created also. Okay. So what to do? Add a new migration. Come on, help me. Add hyphen migration. Give a name. Actually, as per the notes, you have two migrations already. What are the two? Initial migration, seed data. But on that day, I combined up both the two things. But as per your practice, you're doing one by one steps. You have two migrations already. One is initial migration. Last class I showed you seed data migration. Yes or not? And this is the third migration now. What is the third migration? Add identity. Any name here you like, whatever you do. Add identity. Hit enter. Well started. And it will create you a lot of tables to you. Watch. Succeeded. Okay. What next? Update. What is the next step? Update hyphen database. Okay. Come on. Observe. That's what I said here. It will create you a lot of tables to you. What created, sir? Let us see. First table. Second table. Users table. This is the users table where the user data is stored. See, ID, name, email, confirmed, email confirmed, password. All this particular information is stored in this table now. Next, roles. Next, claims, logins, user roles, user tokens. Like this, it created you a set of tables. Go to SQL Server and verify. Actually, our database has one and only one table in, sorry, two tables in the last class. Customers and migration history table. Correct? Now you have all the 6 or 7 counted. Now 6, 7 tables we counted. All of them also will be created for you. And when you go to the migration history, you'll find 3 migrations there. Initial migration, seed data, and identity. Databases, MVC core DB, tables. Check. What tables are created? ASP.NET role claims, ASP.NET roles, ASP.NET user claims, net user logins, user roles, users, user token, 7 tables. Customers is our role table only. First and last are our role tables. Newly created are the 7 tables in the middle. For all these things, associated model classes are present in the library what you installed. You install the library na, that has all the model classes. And based on all the model classes, entity framework has created you the corresponding tables. Are you guys clear? Tell me. So these are the things. Step 1, installed entity framework. Step 2, you change the parent class of our context. Step 3, we called on model creating. Step 4, we have registered the identity framework. We registered the identity framework. Step 5, adding the authentication middleware. Step 6, add a migration. Step 7, update the database. With this, the tables all are ready now. Okay. Now, shall we create a registration? Shall we create a registration form now? Yes or not? I want to create a registration form. To create a registration form, I want to define a model class of my own now. What do you want? Name, password, confirm password, email, mobile. Can't I use, sir, already we have existing model classes. Can't we use? I explained about this in the MVVM architecture in the last week. Recollect yourself. Last week or before last week. What is that? The model class doesn't have all the properties what I want. Model class has password, doesn't have confirm password now. And that confirm password is missing, so I cannot use it. So already explained you 2 weeks back. Define your own model classes to create the views. What we call it? MVVM architecture. Model view, view model. So we are going to create our own model classes for defining the, for creating the views now. Another thing is, maybe they may having annotations or doesn't have annotations. I don't know why those classes are not defined. Maybe those classes are defined by Microsoft in the identity framework. I did not see the classes. How are they going to do that? So that is why I'm writing my own classes with my own data annotations. With my own data, and this is a required field. This is also a required field. And here I want a compare password. Confirm password should match with password. Next, email. Next, mobile. A regular expression. I did not include it, but tomorrow on the password, I can write a regular expression for the password rules now. Are you getting me? Okay, so all these particular things can be defined by me. And that is your step 8. What you'll do? Models folder and add this code now. Go to the models folder, and in the models folder, just simply add the class now. Okay, now come on, go to models folder, add a class. What is the name, guys? User model. User model. Okay. Yeah. Import the namespace. What? System dot component model dot data annotations. And now defined all now. And this is for user registration here. Same way for login also, I want to create a model now. Login model. For a login also, I want to create a model. What model? Login model. What attributes? You know the 3. We already know. Name, password, remember me. Okay. Remember me are the 3 things. What is the name? Login model. So come on. Models. Right click. Add a class here. Login model. Using system dot component model dot data annotations. And let's define all the three things what are required. Yeah, user model is ready. And also login model is ready. Both the two models. What next? Let's add a controller called as, and here we'll write all the logic for the user management now. Registrations, logins, change passwords, confirm all these particular things. Everything I'll write in this particular controller. Account management controller, this is. What is the name? Account controller. This is the fourth controller we are adding in the code now. One is the home controller we already have there. And we have a customer controller, and also we had an error controller last class. Error controller. Now it is account controller. Now delete the existing index action and we'll write all the required methods now. We'll write all the required methods. Okay, first import the model namespace. What's model namespace? MVC DH project dot models. Okay, and also we require to import the identity. We require to import the identity. Microsoft dot ASP.NET Core dot identity. Identity also required. Okay, because we are working with the identity. Fine. So this is your controller, right? This is your controller. Okay, fine. So in this controller, we need to write a required logic. Okay, we'll do it. Now to work with this, let us write the methods for login first. We'll start with a login method. Are you clear? We'll work with a login method. Public I action result. Oh, sorry. We'll start with register first, not login. What is it? Register. Return view. Same way, HTTP post. Public I action result. Register. What is it, guys? User model. Return. Redirect to action. We need to write an action method name. I'll tell you what is the action method. Are you clear with the two? What is the first method? Register. Register should launch a view. Second method, that is also register only. What should happen there? That should store the data in the database. That should store the data in the database and return you login view now. It should return you login now. It should transfer you to login. Okay, we'll write it. We'll write that particular thing. No worries, we'll write it. Okay, here we can just write whatever we want. We can write return view also, no problem, because return type is I action result. Okay, for the time being, I left it like this. What to do? I'll just tell you. Same like this, you need a method for login also. Same way you require a method for login also. For a login also, you require to write a method. Okay, we'll do it. First, we'll complete the registration. Right click, add view. Now select, till now we selected Razor view empty now. Now select Razor view. Guys, concentrate. Razor view, add. Now it will ask you the template, create. A template for inserting a record now. That is create template. Model class. What is the model class? User model. What is the model class? User model. Select the model class, that is user model. And the no context class. Why? User model is not related with any context now. Okay. And click on the add button. May give you error because we did not compile the project, or will it compile? Because in MVC 5 compilation is mandatory. In core, will it compile or not? I'm not sure. If it doesn't compile, we'll compile and do it. Okay, let it run. Okay, it is building the project. Okay, generated. So generated for you. And guys, we anyhow required to take some minor changes to this. What changes? See there, model class is already imported on the top now. And namespace name, is it required or not required? Because already the view import it is done. So delete it. It is enough. Your model is enough. Now see here, you have H1 tag here, register, you have H4 tag here, unnecessary. That's what minor modifications you require to do now. So simply we'll call it as register and we'll remove your model. Okay. And here you see it has added you all the things now. What's it? Form. ASPF for action is register now. Controller name not required. Same controller only na not required. And validation summary for displaying the validation messages to you. Array, all validation messages at one place now. Validation summary. And here we have all the labels, span controls, everything designed. And here you see button name is create, not create. What is it? Register. It is using Bootstrap also, see? Reset. Reset. Guys, this template is for inserting a new record. This template is for inserting a new record. See, earlier also in insert, update, delete in the bottom, we used to place a link for going back to the main page again now. But here we don't have anything. But by default, it will do that. It will add you a link here. Back to list. Delete it. We don't want. Rest of all are same. Few things we require to delete. Array, run here, how it looks. Make all the changes you need now. / controller account method register. Hit the enter key. Design, guys. It just designed to you register, and it is providing all the options. Bootstrap. Bootstrap. Already I said you. Bootstrap is in your layout. That's why directly used up here. Already in the layout page, Bootstrap is used now. So it is a child page. So automatically it was just getting you. So this is a layout showing you all these things on the top and at the bottom. 2023 MVC DS project privacy something. You modify it. Go to the layout and modify. But originally that is a code. In between is my content page. This is my content page. Name, password, confirm password, email ID, mobile number. And see all validations in action. The name field is required. The password field is required. The confirm password field is required. Email field is required. Mobile number field is required. All these are required. Why? In my model, I said they are required. Are you clear? If I don't give error message, if I don't give my own error message, automatically it will show you the message like this. Array, here placeholder here. Automatically name will come here. Name field required. See, password field required. Confirm password. This is a placeholder. Will take you the values from there and shows you the appropriate messages to you. Hope you guys are clear. Yes or not? Okay. So it is just going to get all the things here. Okay, fine. So my form is ready. Registration form is ready now. So now I can fill in all the details and click on the register button. Now here I need to write the code for registering the code now. Okay, we'll do guys how to write the code for registering now. And you guys all remember what? If model state dot is valid. Remember this code? Validations. All the validations are successful. If all the validations are successful, do it. Else means validations failed. Validations failed. Are you clear? If validations fail, what will you do? Return the same view. Validations fail, return the same view now. Yes or not? We return the same view, but before returning the view, just don't forget. You need to pass this model data also there now. Return view, pass this model data back there now. When validations fail. Validation fail. No, sir, validations are successful. Oh, validations are successful. Then if validations are successful, you guys just wanted to go for doing this. What? I wanted to save the data in the database now. I want to save the data in the database. When the validations are successful, I want to save the data in the database. If that is the case, remember, you're required to create the instance of a class called identity user. This is the class representing the user account. This is the class representing the user account. You're required to create the instance of that class now in your code, passing all the details. What details are required? Check it out. Check what details are required. Nothing, guys. Actually, I named it a user model in the code. That's all. I copy pasted now. That's why I got it. User model. What required? Username, password. These are the things you're collecting. Sir, what about password? Password is not there. I'll tell you. But user requires what? Username, email, and phone number. Password, sir. I'll tell you about the password. Hold on a minute. So create a user now. There also see, recollect yourself when we explained you. Then also we created user and insert into the table now. Now also same. What is the class? But this is not my class. Yeah, this is predefined class. This is identity user is a predefined class which takes 3 parameters. Okay. And now you need to call this method. What is the method? User manager dot create async. User manager dot create async. What are the things it is taking? See, and password. Password should be supplied here. Password is not supplied here. User will have only username, email, and phone number. The password should be supplied here. Sir, error coming there. Why? Because it is a asynchronous method. Recollect, you learned in the task parallelism. Async and await. It's an async and await. You need to call here await. Okay, still you get an error. Why? When this is await, here you should say async. The method should be declared as async and the method should be declared as await. Sorry, inside call should be await. Here what you should write? Async of I action result register. Task. Sorry, async task of I action result. So basically, you remember these 2 keywords, async and await. What is it? If the method is not able to complete its work on time, it will give the control to others to execute so that the UI will not be disturbed. Without disturbing the UI, it will do the work in the background. And again, the control is pulled back whenever the await is called. Await is a marker to tell, I am ready. I am ready. Give me the control back. I given you one example also there. What is it? You went into a reservation counter. You stood in the counter now, filling a reservation form. Now someone came now, you're in the counter now. There are 3 or 4 people before you, you're still in the counter. Someone came to you and asked you, please give me your pen. I did not bring a pen. I need to fill my reservation form now. Now see, your pen is idle now. Am I correct? So when he asked it, what do you do? Yeah, take the pen. Take the pen. He started writing the reservation forms now. Now you're going on. Next step, next step. Now you reach at the counter now and your reservation is done. But this person's work is not done. This person's work is not done. Maybe he don't know the details. He's making a phone call to someone and filling is not done. But are you going to wait for the person? Tell me. Do your work. I'll wait for you. We're not that generous because we also have some other works to go out. So what do you say? Give me my pen back. I'm ready. Give me my pen back. This is also same. What is it? Avoid is a marker. What is it? It will leave the control out of the method. It will leave the control out of the method when something is going on behind now. And again, pulls back the control. Pulls back the control. When it pulls back, when it is ready, it will pull back the control. So what we should say? Avoid. We should call the avoid. Async is to tell control can come out of the method. I want to execute this method as an asynchronous method. The control can come out of the method. Avoid is to pull the control. Means you came to me, you asked for a pen. I will give you the pen and I will take my pen back when I am ready to go out. When I'm ready to leave, give me my pen back. I'll go. Okay. Until I'm here, my pen is idle. Use it. I don't have any problem. But when I am ready, you cannot use my pen anymore. Give it back to me. Are you getting my point or not? So this is what we learned in the task parallel libraries all day about async and avoid markers. So we need to call that avoid now. And guys, the return type of this is, the return type of this particular thing is, just a minute, guys. What did you create first? Identity user. What is that? Identity user. Now you need to create this user account. How to create? There is a class now. What is the class? Array, the name is telling you what is it now? User manager is a class. Dot create async. But unfortunately, this is not a static method. You need to create the instance of this class. You need to create the instance of this class. Which class? Louder. User manager class. The instance of the user manager class has to be created. How to create? Come on. We'll create an instance. You know how to create an instance now? Tell me. But we don't create it directly. Again, it's a concept of dependency injection. How? Public account controller, user manager. Right click on this. Error coming. Maybe a okay. The user manager takes a parameter. Yes, it takes a parameter, guys. Identity user. Okay, right click, quick actions and refactorings, and create and assign a field now. It declared and assigned a field now, user manager. What is it here? This identity user is a user account what we are representing here. See there. It'll take a value of which type? Identity user. Now see, user manager is the object of the class now. Which class? User manager. It will manage the user accounts to you. Under that, there's a method. What is the method? What are you passing? The user here and the password. And see, the return type of this particular method is a task. Value returning method. What it returns you? Task of identity user. Array, not identity user. You remember in task parallelism, I explained you. If a method returns an integer, you're required to capture it as a task of int. If the method returns a string, how do you capture? Task of string. So this particular method is going to return you what? Identity result. So how to capture? Task of identity result. That's how that has to be captured. Without writing task of, simply you can write as where. Internally, that only will create you for you. What? Task of identity result. Now this result will tell you success or failure. This result will tell you success or failure. Watch it. If result dot, watch the code. Succeeded. Succeeded means user account is created successfully. If user account is created successfully, what do you want to do? Go to the login page. If user account is created successfully, go to the login page. Just go to login page in this context now. Not login page, home page. I'm going to the home page. If user account is created, where I'm going? Home page. Actually should go to login page only. Yes or not? Why to go to login page here? User is already registered now. Understand? Login page or home page? There is a question now. User is already registered. Do you have the username and password with you? Come on, man. User is already registered. Do you have the username and password or not? Yeah, I have the username and password available. Okay, mainly not username, email and password. The ID is email now. Login ID is email or username, whatever it is. Anything you can take. For example, username and password. I have already the values. Because I have already the values, I can log in directly now. I can directly log in. How, sir? How can you log in? Watch it. There is a class called as sign-in manager. What is that? Under that, there is a direct method called as sign-in. See, just like what you're doing a sign-in operation by using the help of a class. Which class? Sign-in manager. You know what is sign-in? Sign-in is a process of logging into the application now. So what you call, just like see here, what is the class? Responsible for. The name of the class only telling you now. Why you're thinking this much time, I don't understand. What is the class name? That is only it is doing you. What is it doing you? User management. It is doing the user management. What is the class name here? What it will do? Sign-in management. Now it is going to perform the sign-in management in this context. Are you clear? The first one will tell you user management. This one will do you. So here also the same. We need to create an instance of this class now. Which class? Same process. What? Comma. Sign-in manager. Just give a name for it. Something like sign-in manager. Okay. Right click. Say quick actions and refactorings and say create and assign a field. That only will declare and assign you a field. These two are declared automatically now. So this is the class. What is the class? Sign-in manager. Now see, watch it. Look, sign-in manager dot sign-in async. Sign-in async. And what it takes a parameter. What the parameter it takes? The user. What the parameter it takes? The user. It will take the user as a parameter. Where is the user? You created now. You created the user already now. You have the user details with you. You can pass that particular user in this case now. Okay. And basically two things it will ask you. One is the user. And second thing what it will ask you is, what is this, sir? Remember me. Remember me checkbox. But right now, did you open a login form from registration only or doing a login? Then pass false. Why, sir? From registration, you're logging in. How can you confirm stay signed in option now? When should the stay signed in option be selected? When the user is coming from login and select, then we'll pick the value from the checkbox. But here from registration, without again asking the user to go to login, I am logging you automatically now. Did you understand or not? Here also. When you see async, don't forget to call avoid. To make you understand only, they named the method as asynchronous method. This is an async method. So compulsory, you need to call a avoid on it. Now, when the login is completed, now tell me, can I take you to index or login? No, sir, I want to take to index page. Then don't write this code. Without writing this code directly, what do you write? Login account controller, login action account controller. Did you catch my point? But what is my point? Anytime here in any application, after registration, you directly open the application. Agree with me or not? You went to a banking website, a Facebook, open an account. After opening the account, you directly land in the Facebook. Again, it won't take you to login page. Check it out if you want. I'm not writing something new. It is the same thing what you're following in the applications every day. You just opened a Facebook account now. Once the registration is completed, directly you will be opened with the home page to do your work. It won't again take you to login page and ask you. Maybe if it happens, it can happen in banking accounts. That's all. Banking systems. That's all. But not in other applications. In other applications, it is never going to ask you for login. Why? Already I supplied all the details. Again, why you want to ask me these details? You have the details with you now. Use them now and directly sign me into the application. Afterwards, redirect to action. Where? Index home. When? If the validation failed, sorry, if the create user failed, create user failed. Why? Some reason create user failed now. I want to report the information to user now. I want to report the information to the user. Okay. It can fail for various reasons, guys. It can fail for various reasons. What's they say? Result dot, observe it carefully. There is a property here. What is the property? If it is succeeded, it will be true. Boolean. If it fails, it will be false. If it is false, then go to here. What? Errors. This will tell you the errors. It's a list of errors, guys. Not one error. There can be multiple errors. There can be more than one error present. So that's why, because there is a chance of having more than one error present. See, guys, what I'm doing now. I'm using a for each loop and I'm going to display the errors. Okay. I'm going to display the errors here. How to display? Add model error. This error will be displayed for you on screen. Where? Validation summary. You have a validation summary on the top, and that is going to display you the error description to you. The reason why this action got failed. The reason why this action got failed will be displayed for you at this place. Model state dot add model error. Okay. So again, once again, I'm coming from the top. First, model state is valid, means all the details are valid, then everything. Otherwise, you will come here. You're going to come here. Is it clear? Guys, no need of writing the else also. Simply write like this, it works. Why? If you don't go to if condition, means what the meaning here? Failed now. So this code should work now. No need of else again and all the things. Okay. Now see. If everything is succeeded, you are creating the instance of a user now. What is that? Passing three details. What are the three details? Username, email, and phone number. What next? Calling this create async. You are calling the method create async. What are you passing? Identity user and password. Creating the account. It's an asynchronous method. And once created, it will return you a result. If the result is succeeded, log in and take to index. No result failed. Display the errors. Display the errors on screen. You're going to display the errors on the screen. Again, you can watch it, all this. The same thing what I said here. Okay. And to work with it, you're required to take the help of two classes here. What is it? User manager, sign in manager. Don't create the instances. Use dependency injection. Again, there is a constructor injection where these two will be injected for you automatically. You don't require to create the manual instances. All the instances will come to you as a dependency injection. Tomorrow, when you are using login, in login, compulsory you need this now. Sign in here. Once login, sign in. And all the for signing means you already password correct or not. All the methods are defined in this class now. All the methods are defined in that particular class right now here. Okay. Small some information for you all. Just online students, please hold on for a few minutes. Please hold on for a few minutes. Okay, guys. Yeah. So we have done with register, get and post now. So this is a get action, this is a post action. Fine. Now you understood the code or not? What is the first thing? Model is valid. Okay, then you should create the instance of a class now. And remember, this class represents a user. This class represents a user. Now, to create that user, all the code is present in a class called user manager dot user manager dot create async. What it takes? The user and the password, and returns your result. If the result is success, sign in. Otherwise, write the code for displaying the error message on screen. Okay, so sign in or write the code for displaying the error messages on screen. Yeah, we are done with register. Shall we run and see now? Account and register. So here, I just wanted to give some name here. Okay, I'm giving some username. Okay, this is the name I'm giving. Password, Raju 1234. Email ID, I'm entering the email ID and also the mobile number. Mobile number is invalid, see there. See, oh, I clicked off and reset here. Shit. Just filling up all the details. See, if you give anything wrong, no need of submitting the page. We already know that. What is that? Client side validations work. Yes or not? Unobtrusive mode. If anything is wrong, there only it will display you the message automatically. Okay. Now I filled up all the details now. So name is a required field, password is required field, all the details I filled. For this, I required a validation also. For that, phone number should start with 9 and 10 digits. Okay. Click on the register. I did not write any validations for password. Am I correct? Yes or not? The reason why I did not write any validations for the password is because it has built-in validation. The password has the built-in validation. What is it telling you? One non-alphanumeric character should be there. One non-alphanumeric characters were there. See, all the password rules are defined for you under one class called as password options. Check it out. Required length. One unique characters. Non-alphanumeric, true. One non-alphanumeric character should be there. One lowercase character. Require a digit also. Means one lowercase character, one uppercase character, one digit, one special character, non-alphanumeric character with a minimum length of 6 should be present. Are you clearer or not? And also, how many unique characters you want? Means duplicate characters of entering, at least one unique character should be present inside of this. These are the password rules. Same like that. For username also, we have rules here. Allowed, what it allows, see. Watch. Hyphen, decimal, underscore, @ plus alphabets, numerics, and 5 special characters. All these are the things that are accepted. Are you clearer or not? They're all defined for you under user options class, password options class. Okay, you can see them here. Can I see them, sir? What is the class name? User options. Type on that, right click, say go to definition. Check. That only I copy pasted and shown you here. Without you doing all the things, I pasted in your notes to you. Require a unique email ID. Yes, email ID should be unique now. Two users cannot have the same email ID. That's your unique identification going forward now. Are you getting my point? That is a unique identification for you right now. Require a unique email ID. Same way, you can also search for all the four properties. Is that clear? I removed the comments and I just copied the code for you over there. That's all. I shown you all the things in the notes. So right now, when I'm registering, if I don't follow these particular rules, it won't accept me now. Okay, so watch. Once again, we'll try. I'm giving the name as M space is invalid now. It's invalid now. Why? Space are not allowed. I'm giving Raju at the rate 1234. Just watch. Uppercase character, yes. Lowercase character, yes. Special characters, numerics, all are there. So password is valid now. Email ID and mobile number. Click on register. Letters or digits. Can I give it as M dot? Yes. 5 special characters are allowed. Okay. So what are the 5 special characters allowed? Yeah. Hyphen, decimal, underscore, at the rate, and plus. These are allowed. Okay. So this is valid now. So I'm giving Raju at the rate 1024. At the rate 1024. Click on register. If the registration is successful, you would landed in the index page. Watch it. You landed in the index page now. Why? The sign-in manager has signed you into the application now. You're signed in now. And now you can see the index page launched. So is the account created, sir? Yes, it is created. Where is it created? ASP.NET user stable. ASP.NET user stable. If you go and verify. For every user, a unique ID is assigned first. A 32-bit alphanumeric string, GUID, global unique identifier, username. It will show you under column normalized, nothing like whatever you give that is converted to uppercase and stored. Same way, email normalized, email confirmed. I'll explain you. And see that password is encrypted. Tomorrow, someone can see the password here. Danger, na? Array, the password is stored in an encrypted format in the database now. Encrypted password. Okay, still phone numbers, email IDs, all these things are stored. What are the extra columns? We'll talk on them. We'll just discuss about that. But like this, it is going to create you a table and store the data into this. So like this, I can just start creating my user accounts now. Are you clearer or not? I can start creating my user accounts based on these particular rules now. Sir, can I change this rules? What rules? I want to change my password rules. What do you want? Minimum 8 characters I want. Minimum 8 characters I want. Are you clear? So I want to change the password rule here. I want a password rule to be a minimum 8 characters password rule. And also required digit. A password doesn't require a digit. Maybe or may not be. So I don't want. I want to make it false. What do you want to make false? Required password. And minimum length. Right now we saw the two things now. What? Required length I want to make it as 8. Required digit I want to make it as false. These are the two things. Can I change it? Yes, you can change it. That option is also available. How can I change it? See. First, understand. There are 3 classes what we used in the code. First class. Read it. That is a class which is responsible for user management now. Next. It represents the user. It represents the user. Sign-in manager. For sign-in, password validations, all the things, that class only responsible now. Which class? Sign-in manager. Okay. And next, adding a registration view. And that is a simple process. Right click, add a view, select, add a view, and just go for selecting your model class. It will create you. Make the customized, some options will be required. Change that. Okay. And now see, when we want to create a new user account, a set of rules are predefined on username and password under 2 classes. What are those? User options class defines options for user validation. And in this class, there is a property allowed username characters, which contains a list of allowed characters for username. And in this code is following. Same way, password options class is there. That is the password options class. What next? Read it. We can override these options as per our requirements. We can override these options as per our requirements. And we need to do that in startup.cs file for ASP.NET Core 5 and program.cs for ASP.NET Core 6.0 and above. For example, if you want to set the required length as 8 and required digits as false, the required length should be 8 and the required digit should be false. What you'll do? Look, guys, if you're going to Core 6.0, go to and rewrite the services.addIdentity method as following. Already we called this in the morning, right now, good, remember? This is the method, the same only. You're required to rewrite this code. Add identity, identity user dot identity framework. In between, you need to call another thing now. What is it? Options, password required length, and required digits is false. Afterwards, in the last array, in between, you write, I said, here. Here, you're required to write the appropriate option. Okay? Means here, we need to just pass it. We'll show you what. Show you, wait. Go to program. Here, you should write options, lambda expression. What? Options dot password dot required length is equals to 8, comma, options dot password dot required digit is equals to false. Required digit is equals to false. Okay. Same way, if at all you want for user ID also, we can write options dot username dot, and you can just set up your things whatever you want. Like this. I changed the rules of password. Anyhow, my password what I given is 8 characters length, so no problem for that now. So that is okay. Okay, now let's create a new user account, and now we'll try to give a 6 or 7 character password and see what happens. I want to create a new user account here. I'm just writing something. Okay, so this valid now. Not only this, I can give a plus sign. Valid, right? Yeah, that's a valid account now. And here I want to give the password as David12. David12. Okay, or otherwise David @1. You have uppercase character, lowercase character, special character, numeric also present, but 7 characters password only. So this is invalid now. @1. Email ID david.@gmail.com and some password there. Okay. Okay. Register. See the error messages, we looped it, remember? We'll show you the error message too. The password must be at least 8 characters and yeah. Okay, we'll correct it, guys. David @12. David @12. Remember this, tomorrow we need them again to log in. When we are logging in, all these are required. So Command C, the user, ASP.NET users, edit. Second account is also created. 2 accounts are created now in the users table. Clear? So what we did not write? We did not write any code for creating this table. We did not write any code for creating the model classes. We did not write any code for inserting. All are ready-made. We are only calling the methods there. That's all. For signing, everything, you did not write the code. For registration, you called async. For sign in, you called sign in async. Over. That will do all the required job. Pass the information. It'll give you the things. Am I clear? What next? Okay, registration is completed. Then do login now. What are you going to do? Login. A login action. Okay. First one. Public. View result. Login. What to do? Return view. Public. Async. Task of I action result. Login. What is this? HTTP post. Without confusion, in all places, go for using. I done the same thing only, see here. Taking I action result in common. Okay. Sir, why did you take task again? Again, now also when I do sign in, I should call sign in async method now. For sign in, now also I should call sign in async method now. What next? Create the view first. Create the view first. Right click. Add view. Raster view. Create model class. Login model. Click on add button. Oh, yeah, there's a build error here. Build error. That's why it failed. What is the build error? This is the build error. That's it. For the timing, let us give some junk code there. No props. We'll add it. You did not have any avoid there. You're using async, it is telling. We'll add it for the time being. Let me leave it like this. Parameter is missing. What? Login model. Login model. We'll add all these things. Wait. Until you do it, it will give you error. Okay, leave it like this. We'll add the task and all the things. Okay. So for the timing, let us build it. Right click, add view. Yeah, unnecessary things remove, guys. Login is fine. Everything come below. Login input type is equals to what's it? Reset value is equals to reset. Class is equals to btn primary. Use anything you like, guys. Different options are available. Use them. Okay, fine. Now it's a login. So when you open the login page, account login page. Maybe you have just used the save there automatically that can come there. Okay, so ignore it, but see the form. Now when you click on the login, it has to perform a login. Okay, what? Again, here also, first you're required to verify the model state now. Array, you're required to verify the model state. If model state is valid, then only return view a model state is valid. Otherwise, return view and you're just going to pass the model object and launching errors with all the error messages. Okay, next. Valid. If the user is valid, what to do? If the model state is valid, what to do? Verify whether the credentials are correct or not now. Verify whether the credentials are correct or not. How to verify? Sign in manager dot. Okay, sign in manager dot sign in async. Sign in async. So you need to pass up the details to it. So, okay, not sign in async. It is password. The method name is password sign in async. Password means sign in with the given password. And here you need to pass some parameters for it. What is it? Username and password now. Login model dot name. Second parameter, password. Login model dot password. Third parameter, already said you last. Stay signed in. Array stay signed in here. True or false? Tell me, true or false? User selected option here. How are you telling true? There it is true, false. Why? There user did not select anything. But here, user is going to select something. Nah. That should be passed here. User select the checkbox, then true. Otherwise, did not select the checkbox, that is false. So login model dot sign in async. I should call the sign in async. Okay. And pass on the details here. Doesn't take 3 parameters, sir. Now wait. Now async task result is equals to still error. No, load takes 3 parameters. We have one more parameter. Username, password. Oh, bool lockout on failure. We have one more attribute here. Lockout on failure. What is that? If the user credentials are long, shall I lock the account? It is asking what if the user credentials are long, shall I lock the account? If that is the case, we need to design it multiple times, 3 times. Third time we need to use this. Okay, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it as false. No, don't lock it. Don't lock the appropriate user. False. Okay, so these are the 4 parameters I'm using. Again, the same story. What? Result is succeeded. Result is succeeded. What do you want to do? I'll take you to the index page, man. If the result is succeeded, I'll take you to the index page. No, result is a failure. Show me the error messages. Show me the error messages. Okay. Here, errors. No need. Simply invalid login credentials. Invalid login credentials. You want to show the error messages, you can use that also. But here, don't show those error messages. Tell me your credentials are long. When your password, username is wrong, I don't tell you your password is 6 characters. I won't tell that. What I'll tell? Invalid credentials. That's all. I won't give you a hint like, already 6-character password, 8-character password, someone is hacking the account. I should not give him hints now. Yes or not? Don't give hints. Tell invalid credentials, you cannot log in. Finally, go to login mode. So simple, one and only one line here. What is that? Password, sign in, async. Okay, the result is success, take here. Otherwise, show him invalid password credentials. Run again. Account, login. Okay. If the credentials are correct, invalid login credentials here. Okay. Why? Because I'm taking user name here, David, plus that is the ID. We're not taking the email ID. What are you taking? The user ID. So login should log in now. Is that clear? Okay. So that's what. So we are just able to log in. Okay, login is completed. Registration is also completed. Guys, can you do that once now? What? Here, show me. Remove this one here. This one and this one, both are same links only. Do you remember we discussed about it? When I click on home also, this also shows me the same thing only. Remove this too here. What do you want? I don't want the same links again. So go to layout. Where? Shared folder. Layout. Title. This one, where is it? This is title. The body you'll find now. Body. Yeah, this is the link. See that? Taking you to home controller. You're also taking the home index only. You're also taking the home index only. The unnecessary link. Delete. Okay. Well, can you add me a link for customers now? When I click on customers, it should open me the customers now. And again, I don't type in the URL. So let me add a link here. Copy. Paste here. We did not use any areas now. So ignore it. Controller, customer, method, display, customers. And give a caption here as customers. So now, again, every time I don't require to do all my typing works and all, directly I can click on the customer and open the customer now. Directly got it. Database only now? Yeah, database only, not XML. Using SQL server only, not XML. Why don't you add me a link for login and register here? Add me a link for login and register here now. Are you getting me? Not only adding the login and register, guys, I want two more things also. What's it? If the user already logged in, if the user is already logged in, okay, then don't show me login and register. Then what shall I show? Show me the username and log out. Hey, that's it. Nah. If user is not logged in, what will show you? Login, register. User is already logged in. Will you show login, register now? What do you show? Show the name and log out. Logout option should be there. Otherwise, miss, it's a condition based now. Yes or not? So it is a condition based. Based on the condition, we need to get it. I'll show you how to do it. And again, you require to write a logout code now. When you log out, again, log in and register should come out. When you log in, okay, that is what. Still, what is it? Where is security? You have a login and all. When you click on the customer without logging, only this is opening up now. Then what is the point of creating all these things? Am I right now? We have done authentication, but still we have pendings in it. We need authorization also. The page should not open directly now. Even if it opens, okay, display only now, open. But after display, the user is want to go for edit now. Should not give you a chance to edit until and unless you logged in the application now. You visited the IRCTC website. You see the website here. You search for a train. it will tell you the availabilities to you. But try to book a ticket. Ask you first login, then I'll allow you. Now also my application also is showing me all the details. But suppose I want to log in, compulsory, it has to ask me for the credentials, login and all. Means when I click on this edit button, take me to login. Take me to login. Don't give me option to edit like this. Take me to login. If the user is going to be a valid user, then only this option should be. Means we'll add the authorization code in this code now. Okay. Try these two first. What? Registration and login. Tomorrow I'll show you how to write logout functionality and how to get the user ID and all the thing that clicks here and how to open with authorization. I'll show you in the next class. Let's stop here. We'll meet tomorrow.